Welcome back, and in this video I'm going over my favorite vintage cartoon tees. Stay tuned. Now, like I said, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mick and I'm going over my favorite vintage cartoon t-shirts, and a few of them really hit home. So before we get into it, make sure to like the video, comment down below, and also be subscribed to the channel. If you are not already, you're gonna want to be. Now, some of these t-shirts have been with me for a long time. They either were found at a thrift store or found at the swap meet or even found online for a steal of a deal. Now, the very first one I do want to show is this 1999 vintage Pokemon tee.
I wanna be the very best.
Crazy about this one, definitely found at a thrift store for a steal of a deal, $1.99 in the children's t-shirts. And when I did find it, check it out, it's got the 1999 licensing, it's got that Pokemon tag that we all like, but I do love the graphic on this one. It does have Ash Ketchum and it does have Pikachu right there, and with that Pokeball going on, definitely pretty good. Now onto that, we got a awesome 1993 vintage MTV's Beavis and Butthead tee. This one had a chopped neckline. Now, why did someone cut it? Again, some people just do not like the ribbon necks, and sometimes they just chop them off because it feels better. Again, a Stanley DeSantis, sad that Beavis and Butthead stopped the chop on these t-shirts. Seriously, these t-shirts have gone up exponentially compared to when I first got it, and yes, I got them for a lower deal, and then I saved this one in a video. If you do want to see this one, go check it out because it is an awesome watch, single stitch. But if you know Beavis and Butthead, again, this one is a 1997 MTV license Cornholio tee.
I am Cornholio. I need TV for my bunghole.
As you can see, that mug shot going on. Now this one is on a 707 tag, and yes, as you may believe, single stitch. Now the story about this one, other than the Lake Titicaca, is that I found this. Again, please stop the chop, but even when I find things that are chopped, I do save them. So these were actually fully sewn on by me. So these were actual t-shirts that I try to match up pretty good, and I sewed them on. So this one was actually found at a thrift store. I believe it was like $1.99 with no sleeves, and I did save this one, and this one is still in the stash. And like I said, the price of these tees have gone up exponentially throughout the years, but again, stop the chop. Now these ones are crazy because I found both of these at the thrift, not together. So the first one is a 1999 FLCL Takun tee. If you know about the kitty cat Takun, there he is right on the front with the broccoli gear tag. And then we got this one, the 1999 Haruko tee. Look at that right there, right on the front. Okay, I briefly talk about this one, but the noodles, there's like some kind of scare. I don't know if this is real or not, but like I believe 5 people have died. Ramen noodles, I have no idea what's going on, so that's crazy. But these two tees have been in the stash because these ones hit home. Talking about hitting home, this one's on a SSI tag, size XL, bigger size, white tee. If you know, you know, but check this one out. We
don't have a cow, Dad.
Bart Simpson tee, as you know. Look at that, the Simpsons. You got Bart Simpson, Matt Groening, got the license from 1990. Again, I'm gonna go to a throwback picture, but there's me right there wearing a Simpsons t-shirt. That's what it's all about. Definitely it literally hits home. This one was actually given to me by a fan of the YouTube channel. So this was way back when, years ago, before the craziness happened, before the hype really took over thrifting. And I was given this one in Burbank, where they were staying, and I stopped in, and the guy gave it to me. Again, salamat pare, because this one definitely hits home for me. Now onto that, this one actually goes off of the person who, you know, created the Simpsons, Matt Groening. Now this is a t-shirt that is very much 1989. First off, Life in Hell. If you know about that comic strip, my dad had a book growing up, even before I was born or anything. He knew about Life in Hell and Matt Groening, and this one goes off of that. But as you see, the 9 types of girlfriends, and then this one's the 9 types of boyfriends on this side, and you got the characters there. If you look closely at her, the pearl necklace kind of screams Marge. This one was insane. I came up on this one at the thrift, $2.99, and I was so pumped. I was so excited. From a certain time of the Nicktoon era. I'm looking for the licensing to tell you the exact thing, but 1991 MTV Networks Nicktoons tee. You got Ren and Stimpy.
He's had this coming for a long time now.
the big graphic on there, Ren and Stimpy, literally going back to it, single stitch. Tag is super perfect. The whole thing is pristine, by the way. When I found this one, it was weird because it was like a lazy day going in. There was people there searching, and for some reason they didn't come across it. And this is what I always say: search every piece you can, because for some people fall off and they stop searching, they give up pieces like this. But luckily in my case, I search everywhere, and boom, coming up on this one. That's why it's still in the stash, and that's why, again, hits home. Now this one takes the cake, because if you're a fan of Ren and Stimpy, then you're gonna know who this is. Let's see if you can read what it says here. Cling tenaciously to my buttocks. Okay, who is it? Who is it? Powdered Toast Man. This one has no tag, and the licensing, there is no licensing on it, but I had found the tee before, not personally, literally online, and I found out that it was from 1998. So I have no idea, but this one's a definitely hard-hitting piece. You got Powdered Toast Man right in the front here, and then you got Cling tenaciously to my buttocks again. This is what it's all about here. When you find vintage tees with this big print on it, and you get that. Now just imagine like walking around the thrift and you see this on someone's back. I mean, you know, you don't have to tell me twice. You know what I'm talking about? It is a 1998 Ocarina of Time, The Legend of Zelda. And again, this is one of the standards that a lot of the thrifters out there, they do find, but it is a crazy graphic with Link. You got the Master Sword, the shield. I mean, if you're talking about you know, Zelda tees, this is one of the standards. And Legend of Zelda, pretty much, remember, that's Link. A lot of people get those wrong, which I can't believe it. But again, still in the stash, is literally pristine. So when I found it, I'm so happy that the thrift store didn't mess with the tags. Remember, some of these thrift stores, they'll tag them with price tags, and they'll literally puncture the wrong spot and make holes. This one, they did it right in the neck, disappeared the moment I took it off. Remember, don't pull too hard, at least. Now this one is a kind of weird one, and the reason why I say it is when I first found it, this is a 1989 license. Remember that. And it's funny, I'm looking at the mic, but it's a 1989 license. Remember this, Wallace and Gromit, but not Wallace and Gromit. And let's see if you know who it is. Check this out. It's a wanted poster. First off, see, oh my gosh, the white in there. Okay, right there, police, wanted. What is this? Who is it? Oh my gosh. So this is Feathers McGraw. He did pop up in Wallace and Gromit. The bad guy there, and he pretty much got away, you know, disguised himself. That's I believe that's a penguin. He was disguising himself as a chicken, but as you can see, it's just one of those, you know, oddball tees that hit home for me, because Wallace and Gromit for me was very much me growing up, and that has to do with my aunt and uncle showing me Wallace and Gromit, and you know, cheese and crackers and having tea. That's what it's all about. Now these last tees, I'm gonna tell you, these are everything to me, because in my case, you know, South Park was something that I grew up wanting to watch. I didn't have cable at the time, but I had the magazines, and what was funny is it would show, like, I think it was like Cracked magazine. It would show like South Park lists of like what time they play and stuff like that, and I didn't have it. So first one is this Howdy Ho 1998. Well, we got, who's that on there? We got Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. Again, I don't think he's gonna show up ever again in South Park, but at one time, man, he was starting to come back, and it got crazy.
Yes, that was a bad attempt at a Christmas joke.
This one's a little older. It's considered still vintage, but 2003. We have the classic, just a regular. It got Towley on the front. Remember the washcloth? Remember when they brought in washcloth for him? I mean, that was just so low. But you got the classic lineup of a lot of the characters that became standards in South Park, and it's crazy to see a lot go. You know, it's sad about Chef, and you know, rest in peace, and even the falling out. But it's a pretty crazy aspect of the show that, just like The Simpsons, it came in and it's been running all this time. And knowing them doing like the show, like the way they do it, where it's like a week and they come up with new stuff and they make it all about what's going on in the world, one of the best shows, and that's the reason why. Same graphics, same print with the Comedy Central logo, and both same graphics, same print, Comedy Central logo. And this one is, I believe, a Tooltex tag. Now, like I said, these are standard tees that a lot of people come across. Now talking about Chef, this is one of the ones I was talking about right there. I've worn this one before. I believe it's a 1998, and it's cool to have, you know, little Chef right there. But you know, Chef was a big part of the show. I mean, at one time, you remember that? Like, if you're a South Park fan, then you know about this one. But like I said, this all goes back to if you were watching early on, and one of the biggest ones I have, which is a, you know, big one for me, and one of the most beloved parts of Cartman, where he's not so, I guess, racist and crazy, is that you get this right here. You get the you get the cheesy poofs with his cat.
No, kitty.
And like that whole thing that's going on with them. I mean, it's one of the most you know, beloved, and I think this one is a 1997. And what's crazy about it, it actually still has the thrift store tag on it. So this one was bought for $6, and you know, that's when things were getting crazy, you know. But look at that, look at the graphic on there. I'm hoping that the thing's picking it up, but yeah, look at that. Look, read it. With the Comedy Central graphic on the bottom and everything, and the licensing. But again, yeah, thank you for watching. This was another collection of the tees I have. I have a bunch. I mean, you could see it back there that there's a pile here. There's like 4 things of t-shirts. There's a thing of collectibles. There's even t-shirts behind me, underneath the turtle tank. These are all tees that go all the way down. And again, like I said, as things change, a lot of my collection is still here, and I still love them. And that's the thing, a lot of them have to do with me growing up in the childhood that I had, all the way into, you know, the preteens, the teens, and you know, coming across them to the thrift, I've always picked them up. So I got skate tees, I got a bunch of stuff. Again, thank you for watching. If you can, like the video, comment down below something about these tees or one of the tees that you like or you have in your stash. And I'm gonna say what I always say: hit that sub button because more videos are coming. This was Mick from Fresh from the Flea. Oh yeah, I forgot about this one. The 1997 promo King of the Hill snapback.